The President of the United States today, his administration, and he's responsible for it, wants to push to make people give their phone numbers and their addresses to union organizers who are trying to organize various businesses. Then you look at the Department of Homeland Security. The Department of Homeland Security is about to make a whole host of individuals who are here illegally exempt from deportation. Then you go over to the Justice Department. We have an Attorney General today who wants to further expand clemency for those who have used and sold drugs. And then you look around the world, China on the rise. Folks, the truth is, if China were to attack Taiwan today, we wouldn't do a damn thing. And Japan knows it. South Korea knows it. Putin knows damn well he could march into the Ukraine. He already did, but further. And we wouldn't do a damn thing to stop him. Then you hear these idiots at home going on and on and on. Well, what's at our business? None of our business. What the hell? What's the big deal? As if the rise of the nuclear power, Russia, is not a big deal. Or if China taking over shipping lanes is not a big deal. And threatening our close allies is not a big deal. Of course it's a big deal. But right now I want to talk about what I've talked about, soft tyranny over the years and liberty and tyranny. It's becoming a more hardened tyranny. But more broadly speaking, it's a domestic tyranny. And it's happening every single day when you read what's going on in this country. What do you mean you're going to give our phone numbers and addresses to union organizers? Did I give you authority to do that? What do you mean you're destroying my healthcare system and you're going to keep data about my medical records and so forth? Did I give you the right to do that? What do you mean you're going to be tracking my phone number through the NSA? Did I say that's okay? What do you mean I have to drive certain cars and use certain types of gasoline and you're going to destroy my job and certain other industries and so forth? Did I give you the authority to do that? Why? Because I voted? There's certain things our government is not free to do under the Constitution. There's many things our government's not free to do under the Constitution. Just because somebody gets elected president or to the Senate or the House, they don't have free reign. Because, as I say, the Constitution's not up for election. And when you look at what's going on in this country, it should cause you great consternation. And it is going on, and it is unchecked. And really, it's, for many of our fellow citizens, not even alarming anymore. Here's the piece, Daily Caller. Obama administration is poised to change regulations to allow for union ambush elections, in which workers have less time to decide to join a union, and in which workers' phone numbers and home addresses are provided to unions. So what are we now? If the Democrat Party controls the instrumentalities of the federal government, they can ram home this agenda? Is there some federal statute passed by Congress that authorizes this? There's none. Well, they have regulatory power. No, they don't. Insiders close to the situation believe the new rules will almost certainly go into effect with few or no fundamental changes. So you see, this president, his administration, are doing everything they can to empower, to subsidize their friends, their constituent groups, and so forth and so on. Meanwhile, the Republican Party is doing everything it can to destroy the base of the Republican Party and import more Democrats. This, Associated Press. This is from 2 hours ago. The Associated Press has learned that Homeland Security Secretary Jay Johnson is considering limiting deportations of immigrants living in the U.S. illegally, but without serious criminal records. Since when is that the standard? Oh, great. You haven't raped anybody? You haven't robbed a bank? No other forms of assault or misbehavior? Well, they only committed a misdemeanor, Oh, okay. People are prosecuted for certain misdemeanors? But since when is that the standard? When was this dumbed down? The potential change could shield tens of thousands of immigrants, now illegal immigrants, now removed each year solely because of repeated immigration violations, such as reentering the country after being deported. So this is how Erica Werner of the Associated Press reports it. Just because you keep violating our immigration laws, that shouldn't be the sole reason that you're deported. If that's all you've done, well then welcome. And even so, she goes on, the change would fall short of deportation curbs demanded by activists frustrated by congressional inaction. Let me tell you something. These activists have a completely different agenda, an extraordinarily radical agenda. See, they don't believe that Texas and Arizona and New Mexico and California and probably other parts of the country are legitimately American. They don't believe it. That's what they're about. Apparently what Obama's about, too. And moreover, you go over to Breitbart, and they point out that the left wing is beginning efforts to publicize gaps in the border fence area. A coalition of investigative journalists, to include the Center for Investigative Reporting, recently announced a public project to map border infrastructure used to hopefully minimize unlawful crossing and other illegal activities. While the effort is understandably time-consuming and leads to frustration, security experts argue the key is proper placement. But what the left is doing is they're saying, look at these big gaps, particularly in Texas, and they're putting the information out. Why would somebody do that to their own country? Why would they try and encourage illegal immigration into their own country? What does that say about their belief in their own country? So, I look at these, and there's more. I look at these articles, and say, here's another one. New York slimes. We have sheriffs limit detention of immigrants. Because a magistrate has tied their hands, ladies and gentlemen, some of these sheriffs in the West, well, they can't detain these illegal immigrants. So they're saying, all right, we give up. We give up. And this isn't just on immigration. Lawlessness is the rule, not the exception in this country. And we quietly listen to news reports, quietly watch cable, quietly listen to talk radio, and this goes on and on and on, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. We're watching the destruction of our country. We're watching the massive empowerment of the central government, or as I call it, the federal Leviathan. And its reach knows few limits. And they want more and more information on us. And they want more and more information to control us. It's like, I'll give you an example. We just started hearing about Earth Day. Earth Day is May 1. May Day. Communists used to celebrate May Day. Now I guess it's Earth Day. And even Republicans on TV are saying, it did some good. We have the Clean Air Act and the Clean Water Act. They never want to talk about the millions and millions of fellow human beings who are dead as a result of Earth Day and the EPA and the banning of DDT. They never want to talk about it. Is it because they're stupid? Is it because they're ignorant? Is it because they're propagandists? What is it? The EPA has done more damage to more human beings than any federal department that we have. And yet it's treated as this wellspring of great ideas to try and keep our water clean and our air clean. It is an iron-fisted bureaucracy that is trying to destroy private property rights and uses images like the polar bear and fear-mongering and other things to accomplish its means. I am not saying there shouldn't be any regulations. You'd be an idiot to say that. I'm saying this damn thing's out of control. And so as I started the program today, you step back and you look at these things. And it's happening so quickly. And it's happening so easily. With very little objections. With very little pushback. Something to be enormously concerned about. I'll be right back.